All right, we are back. Happy Friday, everybody. Fridays are good, although my weeks and days are starting to blend together. It feels like nobody knows what day it is every day right now. So thank goodness for these, because at least I can remember if it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, because I have this going on. So I will do a quick introduction. My name is Heidi Foy. I am the creator of opportunities here at Bullfrog Creatives. Just kind of an online platform for me to share my experiences, and kind of morphed into an opportunity for me to help spread the word about college rodeo. I participated in college rodeo. I have been a volunteer, a voluntold, and all of the above. I have two little boys standing at my back door. You just never know around here. So Shaylee and I, who is my guest today, talked about like, where did this come from? Had an opportunity to talk to Roger Walters a little over a month ago about the cancellation and some of the stuff that went down with the CNFR this year and the regional rodeos. And it really kind of sparked, for me anyways, personally, some questions about what are colleges going to do, and what are student athletes going to do to make those connections to the colleges now that maybe not just the college finals at that point were going to be canceled, but other rodeos potentially could be canceled. And that did happen. So we kind of put together, me and my team of children, I guess, we put together this collegerodeo.com in an effort to create opportunities for colleges to reach out and get the information, their information out to potential student athletes. So here we are. I believe we are in week 5. Again, we talked on Wednesday that I am going to be cutting it back because, as I have mentioned, children are a little more rambunctious with the weather finally getting nice. So we're going to be meeting every Monday. If the need arises, I probably can bribe my children to stay outside and allow me to do more interviews, but we are going to cut back a little bit. So let me, without further ado, I will stop talking and get my face off of the screen, introduce the rodeo coach from Dawson Community College. Listen, I got a real soft spot for the Big Sky region, Miss Shaylee Hance. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be able to talk about the school and my program. So
great. So I know you're a newer coach. Pardon me. I try to pull this up on Facebook so I can see if we have any questions too. I know you were a newer coach, and you do have some Wyoming ties when you were assistant coach at Central Wyoming College. Is that right?
Yeah, I loved it. I went to school at Central, and then I went to Chadron State. And then after I was done there, Drew Schropp called me and was like, "Hey, do you still want to be a coach?" And I said, "Sure." So I loaded up and headed over there, and I went to Nebraska for the last couple of years, and I just took this position in December. So I'm pretty new here at Dawson Community College. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, we are certainly, I'm sure that Drew is missing you, but it sounds like you made a real good move to head coach. So congratulations on that move. And so let's just get started. For those of you guys that are not aware where Dawson Community College is, Shaylee, where are you guys located?
So we are located in Eastern Montana. We are about 2.5 hours just straight west of Dickinson, North Dakota. We're kind of central Eastern Montana, so we're kind of in the center of the state, but over on the eastern side. So we're real close to Canada. I actually have most of my team is from Canada, and just because we're close and we're inexpensive for them. I didn't know this when I started, but it is super expensive for Canadian kids to go to school in the States. So we get a lot of those kids as well. So yeah.
Great. So can you talk to me a little bit about what your community is like?
We are a really small, close-knit community. The rodeo team here is kind of like top dog, which has been really awesome for me. We have great support in the community. There's a lot of people that grew up here in Dawson that went to school here. There's people that came from out of state and they still are here. My banquet, I was fortunate enough, we had our banquet before COVID-19 hit, so I had a great turnout. My kids did an outstanding job bringing donated items. And I mean, most of the people that came to come bid on it were all Eastern Montana people. I mean, they came and supported. The local businesses were great donating stuff. So people really want the rodeo team to do really big. I mean, it was kind of a big deal when they hired me to come in. They were really excited because a local person that knew the program and knew the community was here. And so it's just been really great. We're a really small town feel, but the staff here is awesome. They really want to be a part of the rodeo team. You know, they always ask me what they can do to help. I almost have too much help sometimes. So, I mean, it's a very tight knit community. It's not a huge town. So if you're looking for, you know, something that's not real intimidating, if you're from a small town, this is a perfect fit for you. So.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about campus. What is campus life like?
Campus is really small. Dorms are just right below us. Our arena is a little bit off of campus in kind of a way, which I personally like, just because then we have our own privacy. People aren't messing with your horses and all of that. So that's really nice. Everybody has an open door policy here at campus. So you're going to be walking down the hallways and your teachers are going to be like, hey, how are you? And you'll, you know, they stop there and chat. The gal that was doing the interim, Jennifer Weeding, and I've known Jen for a really long time. But when I first came to campus, I mean, there was 5 or 6 kids in our office sitting on her couch, and now I stole her couch because she moved offices. But that's kind of the atmosphere that's here is your teachers, they know who you are, they know what you're doing, they ask, you know, how basketball's going, softball's going, and everybody's just kind of very close knit, and it's small, but they've done a lot of upgrades since I was in high school, which is kind of nice to just see. It's not super fancy, but it's not really nice at the same time. So dorms are some of the best dorms in the state as far as I'm concerned. They're an apartment-like build. It's just kind of like having your own home instead of being like in a cramped tiny dorm room with nothing. You're gonna have your like own little kitchenette thing and room and your face and everything. So campus is just very home-like, which I think makes it a little easier for the kids, especially their first couple of years away from home. So yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're right.
Scared me. I was not ready for the phone to ring. So you mentioned the dorms. I think I want to say every college that we've talked to has this requirement. So I'm going to ask anyhow. Is there a requirement for, or does your college or do you as a coach require incoming freshmen and sophomores to live on campus in the dorms? And then if not, or if so, either way, what are our other housing opportunities there in the community?
So Dawson, we just had a huge discussion about this. So if you're on athletic scholarship, you're required to live on campus unless you are 21, have family that live here. And there's a couple, if you have like a kid or you're married, you can live off campus. And there's just some kind of different stipulations with that. You do have to submit a request form into the college, just, you know, stating your reason of why. Basically, they want you to be involved up here at the college and they want you to feel connected, and they don't want you to live off campus and then feel like you're not a part of anything, because then you're really missing out on the great experience that is Dawson Community College. For kids that are 21 and older, I do have quite a few boys that live off campus. Actually, pretty much my whole team lived off campus except for freshmen this spring. And that's just a personal thing, you know, it's up to them. Most of them are over 21. This spring, at least, they were. There's houses to rent and stuff. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. I mean, you just have to look around. I'm more than willing to help, you know, find a place and stuff. And the kids were actually really great about trying to help me find a place to live, which was really cool. There's different places to keep your horses and stuff too. So, I mean, some people like to have a house that they can keep their horses at and they're right there. I know I'm kind of that person. I want to know where they're at all the time. So there's some different opportunities. You just kind of have to look around for it. So, but my freshmen and sophomores are, for the most part, going to be living on campus unless they're, you know, older for their age, or they have family that live here, which I do have a few kids that have that going for them too. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's great. So let's talk a little bit about academics, and then we'll go into the rodeo program specifically. So I know that Dawson is it's a 2-year program or a 2-year community college, but what types of degrees and what types of things are you seeing your students focusing on as far as academics?
So most of my students are actually welding students. I think I had 7 welders on the team, which was really great for us because they made some really cool stuff for my banquet. And then they've helped fix stuff down at the fairgrounds and at the arena and they all had really good grades in that, and the teacher is really awesome. He worked really well with me when I was coming in, and we had to make some adjustments for some kids that, you know, we needed to make sure they were getting their credits and everything in. The other one we have is corrosion technology, which is, we're one of the only colleges in the United States that has that. And apparently it's very easy to get a job in the oil field and stuff. Probably not right now with the oil field being down, but it's super easy to get hired right out of. I had a girl, she just graduated with honors, and she got her degree in corrosion technology. And I believe she already has a job lined up before she even graduated. So that one's a big one. And then I have a couple of business students and some egg students. We just had a new egg instructor take over. Her name's Katie Carrier. She is outstanding. She has some great ideas. We actually had, for one case, she had, there was an accident in town and some cows died, and she got a hold of them, and one of her classes actually went in and dissected the whole cow. And she just, I know I'm not really into that stuff either, but I thought it was kind of cool. They got to do all that stuff hands-on. She's very connected with ranchers and stuff in the community that are willing to have egg visits with all the different types of production that there are in egg, from farming to calf, bulls. And I think the boys went to like 3 different bull sales this year. So it's kind of interesting. She's just kind of taking it on as a very hands-on approach, which is kind of different from that, classroom, just sitting there, because not everybody learns that way. So that new program has been awesome. All of our credits transfer really easy, especially in the Montana University system. I have a few kids that are just doing generals, and then they have a specific focus. And I really encourage kids that are wanting to do like political science or something like that. Their credits transfer a lot easier, or say they want to change their major when they get to a bigger school. It just makes it easier for them to transfer, because the next university, if they have a general studies degree, they have to take that degree. They can't just not transfer the credits. So we do have that going for us too. So yeah, we have lots of great things going on here.
Well, that sounds real good. I mean, it's not up my alley to be dissecting anything, but I can certainly see where it would be a benefit for those students that are in those programs. So that's great. All right, let's talk about the rodeo program. So you already mentioned your banquet. I feel like those colleges that were lucky enough to have their banquets earlier in the year, or I mean, at least before the spring and before everything kind of got shut down, may be in a little bit better financial position this fall than maybe some of those other programs. So I'm going to go there first. I'm going to kind of switch it up, but talk to me about what the program or what the team looks like for this fall. Or do you still have open slots? Do you still have scholarship money available? And are you still recruiting?
I am definitely still recruiting. I'm planning on going to the high school finals. I found out this morning they moved it to Guthrie, Oklahoma, so that'll be an adventure for me. I've never been down there, so it'll be great to see that lazy arena and just that great facility. I'm also going to head to the Montana State High School Rodeo Finals tomorrow for the short round. I was under the impression that I wasn't allowed to go visit because of COVID-19, but I got told today that I'm somebody's cousin, so I can go watch. So I'm going to do that. I'll also head to the South Dakota State High School Rodeo Finals, so I'm definitely looking at going there. I have about 16 kids signed right now, or that are planning on coming or have told me they're coming. There's a few kids that are still debating on whether or not they're going to come back. And with COVID-19, I kind of understand where they're wanting to wait to find out. I do have some scholarship money available. I'm fortunate enough with such a great banquet this year, I have the funding and stuff to do that. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get to recruiting. I'm really looking for some more girls. Dawson hasn't had a huge rodeo program in the last huge women's team in the last couple of years. And as I am a woman, it seemed like that would be very fitting. I also just bought a buckride machine for my bull riders, and we have a bucking machine for my bronc riders and my bareback riders. And we have Sparky still bringing stock from J Bar J Rodeo. And then Iker Pro Rodeo also brings I get new cattle like every once a week or so. They bring me new stuff and kind of change it and everything. So I'm definitely set up to get more kids. So especially those roughies and some girls. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I am very glad to hear that there's some rodeos opening up. I know that the Cody Night Rodeo is going to be kicking off. Clearly there's going to be some new rules and regulations. So, but I'm real glad to see that some people are kind of getting back to something anyway. So let's talk about your practice facility. You did mention that y'all have a facility or a practice arena that you use that's just off campus. So where, or I guess just tell me about your practice facility.
So we have an indoor and an outdoor arena that we can practice in. Most of the kids on the team keep their horses out there as well, unless they find somewhere in the community to keep them. It's an indoor arena. Sometimes we've had the college rodeo in that barn in case the fairgrounds gets rained out or whatever. But it's really nice to be able to practice all year round. Like this spring, we started practice the first weekend of the first week of February. So I mean, we started roping before pretty much the entire region, which is always nice because the more practice, the more you win. So I think there's 6 buck and shoots in there. The ground's nice. It's a little bit narrow, but otherwise, I mean, you get to rope as much as you want to. I mean, my kids were running, I only had 11 kids on the team this spring, and we'd probably run 6 or 7 pens of steers, and they'd probably each run 2 pens of calves a piece. So, I mean, we roped a lot. We buck stuff once a week, usually on Wednesdays because it worked best with my kids' schedule, bulls and broncs. And then we also have, in our gym, we kind of have like a walking track that's really wide. So there was a few days that were really cold that the stock contractors didn't want to bring stock in just because it was, 10 degrees out or less. And so we have some roping dummies that we set up and practiced up there, just kind of let the guys still get their practice. And then they got on the bucking machine. So, and then, yeah, that's kind of our practice facilities. We ended up having to cancel practice the second weekend of April, which we were the last school in the region to keep having practice this spring. But with COVID-19, they kind of shut us down. And then all my boys went home after they got done with welding. So we kind of have, the school's really flexible. And like I said, they let me practice as long as they possibly could until the state kind of shut them down. So, yeah.
Well, that sounds good. So Shaylee, is there anything you want to add or you want to make sure that everybody is aware of about your program there at DCC?
The program's going to see a lot of changes. I still have the support that they've always had, but we're going to practice a little bit more. And I'm hoping to build up the team. I mean, we're having more practice. We have great stock. The teachers are nice. They really care about who you are. Like I said, you're not just a number to them. They're willing to work with you after school. They love the rodeo team. So being gone for rodeos is no big deal. My rodeo team, actually, since we do have such great fundraising, all of my rodeo kids get their stalls paid for at the college rodeos. They get their fuel paid for. They get their hotel rooms paid for. I mean, that's more than you're going to get at any school. I don't know any other school in the country that I know of that pays for your stalls when you go to the college rodeo. That's pretty huge, especially if they're charging $20 a horse for each weekend. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my big thing. We're a small school, but we're mighty, and we're going to make a comeback. So if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about anything. And if you're looking to go to school and you need help with your goat tying, your breakaway roping, or your team roping, please give me a call. I'd love to help out, especially if you want to come to school here. So
yeah, that sounds awesome. And I would just add that if you're not familiar with the schedule in the Big Sky region, and this may be different, but I know when I was there were some times that you were paying for stalls for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So that's a really good benefit for the kids and student athletes that are going to school for you.
It really is. And a lot of programs don't think about, schools, they don't think about all the other expenses besides just their schooling that they're having to pay for, keeping horses somewhere, travel. Not every program pays for everybody to stay in a hotel room. Most teams just do their points team, and not everybody has a living quarter trailer to go down the road in. And so it's really nice that if you don't have that money, you get to stay in a room, get a good night's rest, and then you can go win the next day instead of being tired or sluggish or whatever, or slept in a wet back end of a stock trailer, because I have done that before and it's not the funnest. So there's lots of opportunity here, and like I said, the program and the school really care about us, which is really nice.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. I would add that if you have any other questions, I do. Let's see, do you have a student athlete by the name of Nick Ree?
I do.
Is that right? So he says, yay, coach. So there you go. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate that. So I'll just do a quick wrap up. Shaylee, if there's anything else that you want to add, you can always post it on our page. And if anybody tuning in, if you guys have any questions, clearly you can always post in this thread. Shaylee will be watching it. I'll be watching it. And then again, I say this every time, if there is a school or a college or a coach that you want to talk to, that you want to learn more about, shoot me a message. I'll reach out to them and try to get them on here. I'll do a quick wrap up. We are going to take, do you want to add something?
Yes, just really quick.
Go for it.
Forget. I do have, and I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about him. I have a really great assistant men's coach. His name's Ben Air. He's a bulldogger, team roper, calf roper, and he's outstanding. He's super, super great with the guys. So I don't want you to think that if you are a guy that you don't have that support system or a coach that's going to make you better, because Ben's a champ. I mean, he's been to the circuit finals, he's been to the NRA finals, and he's done really well. He knows how to handle a horse. He's just been super awesome. Everything I could have wanted in an assistant coach, and I got it. We also do have some other outsiders that come in and come help with practice. Cody Buller came in and helped with the bull riders this fall before I started. And then we just have a great set with, Sparky and Paul. Iker has an enormous amount of knowledge and information to help the guys too. So I don't want the guys to think that I don't have that support system for them, because I do. So
perfect.
I can't believe I almost forgot about that.
No, yeah, good catch. That's really, really good information. So we'll do, I want to remind everybody that I'm going to take I'm going to start changing from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're going to do 1 day a week. We're going to do it on Monday at 2. We'll stick with this time. I don't know, because it works, because it's nice, and my kids can be playing outside. That's pretty much the only reason I picked 2. Nothing scientific behind it at all. So next Monday, we're going to take a little break from college rodeo, although I do feel like we're going to talk a little bit about college rodeo, because we're going to have Mr. Boyd Paul Hamish join us. As many of you know, Boyd has been the NFR Announcer of the Year. He's been the announcer here at the College National Finals Rodeo here in Casper for numerous years. I've been involved for, I don't even know how many years at this point, 20 plus ish, and have worked with him in the past. So I'm real excited to have him on. We're just going to kind of talk about the state of rodeo as a whole, and we'll probably talk a little bit of college rodeo too. And then the following week, we're actually going to head back to your college, and we're going to visit with Drew Schrock, who is the coach at Central Wyoming College. And then the following week after that, June 22nd, we're going to head over to Mesaland Community College and speak with Matt Hughes. So if there's any coaches out there that are watching and you're interested in kind of getting on the docket and being on one of these broadcasts, just shoot me a message and we can get you set up. If there's any student athletes out there, any kids in high school, any parents that are interested in colleges, or you have a specific college in mind, I know we are looking for, we have been reaching out for some other coaches, and hopefully we'll be able to expand those a little bit and keep this information coming your way. So yeah, that's about it. We'll do a wrap, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday. Thanks, Shaylee.
Thank you.